Welcome back, guys. Hey, so what I have here today is we're going to be changing out this end. So the problem with this one is it's leaking constantly. So it's got a good crimp, it's not leaking here, but it's leaking from the end, so I need to change it out. And I used to work for the fire department, retired firefighter, and while I was in the fire department, I was also an SCBA tech. And we worked with a lot with oxygen and stuff like that that came in. And one of the things I've always noticed is they came out really nice and clean, the repairs that we'd send it off to when we got them back, and there were nice crimps and they never leaked. And I always wondered, what was it that they used? Well, over time I realized what they used when I got into some of the plumbing and the PEX. And it was real simple what they did, and I started using it. It works real well. So I'm going to show you that today and what you can do. So let's go ahead and get started on repairing this end. Now I just bought this piece here, and we're just going to put it in here. And you probably, now this is an air hose, and also I'm going to repair some oxygen acetylene hose. Now the difference is we're just going to use the PEX metal rings to repair it. And the difference is this is going to use 1/2 inch, and the oxygen acetylene we're going to use 3/8. And so you can order those on Amazon if you want. And what I also noticed is that Lowe's doesn't carry 3/8, so you have to get them from somewhere else. But the 1/2 inch they do carry. So if you just need to do an air hose or something like that, you can get it there. Now you might have different sizes. There are bigger air hoses, and you can probably find a fitting that'll go over it. You just got to get a bigger size, and you just got to have the tool. So let me show you how we're going to do that. And I'm also going to show you how I get this thing off. Now most of the time I use a grinder with a cutting wheel, and I'll just score it and then pull it off. But today I'm going to try something else because I don't have my cutting grinder with me. So let's give it a shot. All right, guys. Here we go. So I'm going to take this. I got my bag here. Keep all my tools in my bag here, which I really like. So I'm just going to grab I might need that one too. But I'm just going to use my diagonal cutters first and try to get under it and see if I can't just get a little cut going. So I got a tiny cut going. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my Cobras. Set of Cobras here. Now, so as you can see, I'm just grabbing it, get a good grab on that, and just peel it back with the Cobras. Definitely easier with a cutting grinder, but if I can get it on there, then great. I've also used a screwdriver before, screwdriver and a hammer, and just take that and do it that way. So grab my other Cobras. All right, guys, I'm speeding it up here for you, so you don't have to sit there so bored while I do this. I'm just trying to get this open like a can opener. I'm just showing you how I'm doing it, and it's really giving me a hard time. I'd suggest, you know what, get that grinder, the cutting blade, or a screwdriver with a hammer. Works out a lot better. But as you can see here, I eventually get it. And I was telling you about these pliers here. They're the number 9 Klein pliers. They work really well. So, well, I finally get it. All right, so you get your 1/2 inch over there, get it kind of started, and then just crimp it a little bit, and then it gets tight, and you find out exactly where you want it. Keep it down, nice and tight. And there you go. You got a nice fitted end on there, and these hold really good. And I've seen them use this many times. So there's that. Now we'll try out the oxygen acetylene, and we'll use the 3/8 on that. Okay, guys, we're leak testing it right now. It's full pressure, over 120 psi, going through the air hose right now, and it's working great. Just to show you that we're leak testing it. Let me just get a screwdriver here, and I'll show you. So there you go. There it is. So no leaks. All right. Now let's do the oxygen settling. All right, guys. So now you saw how we did the air hose. Now I got some oxygen settling, and well, I feel bad. I was going to show you guys how I take the grinder and cut this off, but these had already been repaired once, and we use these hose clamps, and they work. Don't get me wrong. And but the problem is they stick out quite a bit, and when you're putting it on the torch, they kind of bind up. You got to play with them a little bit. It's just not as clean as this method. So I think you'll really like how this comes out better. Now the problem I'm having with this hose, it's been out in the sun so much on the reel because it's on my truck, and so it's leaking. I'm pretty sure I got some leaks. You can see all the cracks in there and so forth, and I'm pretty sure it's leaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back a couple of feet, cut it off, and then cut it off there, and put these ends back on it, and that way I stop that leak from happening. So okay, well, let's get after it. As you know, I like to use my my bag here for all my tools, my tool setup. And so the first thing we got to do is basically a Phillips screwdriver. We're going to move those off there. So just grab this, loosen this up, loosen this side up. So boom, boom. I'm just going to slide this whole thing down. I'm going to go back. I'm probably going to take off a good 3 or 4 feet here, so there's no more cracks in the hose. There's actually some cracks even back. Alright guys, just again, I'm speeding it up so you don't have to sit there and watch me struggle with this thing, and I did struggle with it. I guess that's just part of the way it goes. One of the things that I struggled with was after I cut it there, I cut it back, and then I had to get these hose clamps off, and they were stripped. They just didn't want to come off. They were kind of broken, and even though I backed them off and everything, it just wasn't working at all. So what I ended up there, I'm trying to find a socket that actually fits it, but it was actually smaller than a 1/4 inch, and I was like, well, I'll just stick to the screwdriver. But as I used the screwdriver, it didn't come off, so I ended up pulling out the, as you'll see here in a minute, I'm pulling out the diagonal cutters. Just cut them off and use my Cobras to pry them off as well. And you know, you can use anything. You can use channel locks, whatever, but here I'm just using Cobras, and I really like them. They're really handy, fast, and I finally eventually get it off here, as you can see.
And the other is going to be an 18-volt angle grinder.
You can see, be a little tough to get off sometimes, but you can see that these have a little barb on them. You see that, and so then that gonna go now. The acetylene one has these little notches in it. You see right there. So the reason for that is it's telling you that it's reverse threads. These need these rings, and these are the rings I told you that are 3/8, and you can order these, and they are pretty snug on here though, but it's 1/2 inch is just a little too big, so that's the reason we don't use a 1/2 inch on here. So I'm going to put this on. Then you just take that, like again, same as we did with the air hose. Just get this where we want it, position it, This one's a little more snug than the air hose. That's where we want it. Just take that, squeeze it, and when you do it, when you squeeze it, if it's getting in there too much, you can just stop, hit that little release button there, and then you can let off on it. And so there you have it. It's a lot nicer than the hose clamps, a lot cleaner, and it looks professional. So I really think it's a better way. I hope you guys like this way of doing it. I think you'll like it as well. And the good thing is you can use it, like I said, on just about any hose, any type of hose. You just got to find the right rings for it. And they sell all kinds of different sizes of the rings. So your chances of doing that are really high. So yeah, look at this one. This one came completely apart. So, but it might make it easier to get it apart here. So let's see what I can do. And if you don't have Cobras, you can use channel locks, you can use needle nose. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, as the saying goes. And again, I got it kind of pulled apart, and now I got a nice space there. Just about let it put in the, and there we go. We got it off. All right. And again, just gonna score this here. Score here like so. And let me fight with this thing again. If you ever look at the repair kits for the oxyacetylene, they sell these. These are the pieces that go in, and then you have the nut that are sold separate. You can buy a whole kit, and then the kit comes with these ferrules that you put over it, and it's got a little like vice grip pliers that come with it, and they crimp that ferrule, but it's a really ugly crimp, and I've had problems with it leaking before, and so that's why I don't use it anymore. I don't use that. I started fixing them with hose clamps because I was like, well, hose clamps better than that, until I found this method, and so I really like this method. Now, sometimes getting in here is kind of hard. You can just wet it with your mouth, but I'm just gonna wet a little bit there. Push it down in there. So, yeah, put the ring on first. Put it in there. You can tap on it like this if you want. That gets it pretty good. Again, get it where you want it. These are a little tighter so they stay in place. And then grab your tool again. Get it to where it's kind of squishing out on each side of it. You can see that, and that's about as far as I want to go. So then I'll just release my tool, and there we go, guys. We're all fixed up. Hope you enjoyed this video on how to fix these, and I think if you use it, you'll find a lot of satisfaction in these, and the way it looks and the way it works. So as always, guys, have a great day.